So, what we've been working on the past couple days has been mostly being away from the other horses and learning to relax away from them while making working around them seem like a tougher option. Right now, we're working on just the point walk, without overreacting. Eventually, in a few minutes or a minute or so, we'll ask for the trot. But right now, I really want her attention on me at the walk while relaxed. She seems to think that she either stops or she goes super fast. At a fast trot, a little anxious. She's an incredibly insecure mare, which is actually not what I was thinking when I was first getting her. This is something I kind of dug up out of her. She finds a lot of insecurity being by herself, so she wants to cling to another horse or to a person in order to make herself feel better. That anxiety comes out in frantic movements, fast trot, quick spins, nothing really soft, gentle, or slow about it. So, good girl. We can work on relaxation. Meanwhile, though, if she keeps looking over there, we'll go ahead and go and work over there. So I'm going to go ahead and ask her to turn. So I'm going to back up. Not asking for any. Good girl. Walk. So we had to work on this 2 days ago. Yesterday was her day off. On a lunge line. So now I'm just hoping to put those concepts and learn principles that she just worked on into freedom in the round pen. I want her to be able to go into a trot as easily as anything. However, I also want her to come back down into a walk even more easily without simply slowing out of laziness or lack of drive. I want it to be a relaxed, still focused manner. So we're going to back up. Whoa, easy. Walk. Wasn't necessarily the direction I was looking for, but she did it calmly. She's thinking. Her mind is working. Sometimes it's not all about direction necessarily. It's about controlling the speed and the anxiety that comes with it. So I'm going to back up again. Good girl. So for her, a lot of this is bringing it back down. We find a lot of excitable horses that want to just constantly go all the time or seem neurotic. This is one thing you can do, is teach them to relax with you. Also off away from you, but still with you. That's one thing with this insecurity. She wants to be on top of me quite a bit. She wants to be near me all the time or near another horse for her security. However, I want her to teach her to be confident out there by herself. Walk. Good girl. So we'll work on transitions a little bit now. So I'm going to ask her into a trot. Trot. Just raising my crop. Good girl. So like I said, I want her to be able to move into that trot, but I also want her to move out with the same relaxation. She's a little alert right now, which is fine, but she's not frantic. I like this. And I'm going to back up, walk, and point. Good girl. So I don't want her to start anticipating every session is going to be rush, rush, rush. A lot of times we get into the habit of wanting to ride, and we just get on and start taking off, which can lead to an anxious horse. Walk. So I'm losing her focus a little bit. I'm going to step her up a little bit. Trot. Good girl. Step in as she comes. That is a bit deeper on that side of the round pen, so a lot of horses do come in. She's a little sore from 2 days ago. It was a pretty hard work. That's why she got yesterday off, but we're just letting her stretch her legs some. It's always good to let them stretch. A lot of this is joint and muscle soreness, as this is her first week of hard work. I'm gonna move her out a little bit more. Now, should this continue, we'd realize that it's more of an injury possibly than it would be just soreness of the muscles. But right now we want her to just open up her stride a little bit and stretch those muscles out. We're not looking for a hard work, we're just looking for stretching. And walk. Just like us, their bodies might be sore with a lot of exercise. You need to keep that in mind. Feed them water appropriately. Massage if needed, stretch. I like to do that. And then today after walk, so back up, walk, but then point to keep her going the direction that I want her to go. She's still looking out quite a bit, which good girl. So with this horse specifically, I'm not going to just necessarily jump into the trot at this point in our training. I want to learn to relax. Good girl. I want to learn to relax, that we're not always just going to jump right into things. So at the beginning of our training, we did jump into it quite a bit because she was quite pushy, leaning into me a lot, and I wanted to move her feet and get her using that thinking side of her brain. So now, trot. Good girl. I didn't even have to raise my crop there. Yeah, she's a little less sore on this side. She was slipping around quite a bit 2 days ago in our session. She has trouble with balance a little bit, which leads me to think it could be possibly chiropractic. It could just be her clumsiness. It could be any number of things. So we're not disregarding that. However, we want to get her stretched out as much as possible and then feel for any heat or look for any inflammation before and after sessions. There was none before, so we're going to go ahead and see after what that might bring after this light workout. Walk, drop my body, turn my shoulder out, and point. Good girl. I'm going to turn her into the fence here. Good girl. I do that by walking towards her shoulder like you saw. And point out to keep her going with my left hand. Get her focused. Walk. She's really not responding here. That's fine. Walk. We're gonna do more. Good girl. She kind of stumbled into that. Easy. I'm gonna circle her again. And go ahead and little flip with the tail. Backing up. So now I'm gonna look for a little more direction. She's some reason sticky on that side. It's okay. We'll work with it. Back up. Move her. We'll move her the full circle again. Now, back up. Now, that could be due to the fact that the horses are on the other side over there and she's too busy watching them, or it could just be she doesn't feel like it. At which point, a lot of people say, oh, they don't feel like it. That's okay. Not necessarily. What I'm asking her to do is not hard. It's not taxing. It's just asking her to give me her full attention and pay attention to my body language. So at this point, yes, I am going to make her. Some people don't think. I've seen a lot recently of posts about the horse getting to do what they want or what they feel they want to do. I am in disagreement with that almost entirely. Yes, they have a mind of their own, but my kids have a mind of their own. Sometimes what I want them to do is better for them even though they don't agree with it. So teaching your horse that sometimes, the choice is not theirs to make, it could make them, good girl, a better horse in the future and safer for you and for others and for themselves ultimately. So does she have a choice in some things? Of course. By all means, she's a horse. She's got a mind of her own. But when we're working and when we're training, you know, it's our time together, and that's what I need to make her a better horse. Of course, I'm always a student and willing to learn from them. Sometimes what I'm asking, I will admit, may not be necessarily the right thing. I do make mistakes. I'm human. Fortunately, horses are very forgiving. Good girl. And they'll forgive you for your mistakes most of the time. As long as what I'm doing has the best interest of her in mind, what the horse in mind, or for the safety of others. I'm going to go ahead and turn her back and ask her again to turn. So what I'm doing here is I'm backing up. When she gives me her hip, I'm coming forward, bringing my stick forward to point her back in. Good girl. Easy walk. So, not all of these sessions need to be about speed and how fast you can go, how fast you can make a turn. I'm going to point. If you see my hand way out there. But sometimes it's about taking it all in, collecting yourselves, and figuring out, okay, how can we help this horse to relax better? She needs to be taught that sometimes, because anxiety can get the best of them. Whoa. And back up. Whoa. She wants to come right in. She didn't want to stop. Trot. I was planning on ending that session right there. However, stop is also something that they need to respond to immediately. It could be from moving into a highway with the two of you or them solo, or it could be another potentially dangerous situation. Whoa. But when you say stop, stop means stop. Whoa. She wants to come in, which is join up. However, in join up, I'm asking her to come in. Right now, my body language is pretty straightforward. Shoulders are squared up to her. Whoa. Whoa. Good girl. So at this point, I'm not resting my legs. I'm keeping my shoulders squared up. I'm going to invite her in, like I'm going to do now. I'm going to relax a leg, extend a hand possibly, and look down and away, and cant my body to her. So I'm going to, you guys are facing her right now. My body is canted, similar to this position. But she needs to understand that there is a difference between being invited and being asked to stop. So I'm going to move in a half moon. And this may be a little bit confusing to her at first. After all, I'm not a horse. My body language necessarily isn't as clear as she might understand Tiana's or Junior's to be. I'm not trying to be a horse. A lot of people try and be a horse. However, we are not. We're not going to fool them. I'm stopping and allowing her the opportunity to correct her own mistake. Good girl. So she's confused to my kisses, I think, a little bit. Typically that's meant to go. I frequently use quick, rapid kisses like that to mean come in and get their attention. Whoa. Come on. Good girl. Go to her. Sorry, my fingers got in the way. Go ahead and rub on her. Alright. Thanks for tuning in with us. I hope you learned something today. She's not quite totally relaxed. She's still expecting me to ask her something, but this is a good note to end on. Relaxed, quiet, and easy.